Pause for a moment, my child. This is not a message for the many, but for you alone. You did not stumble here by accident. There is a reason your spirit was drawn to these words, a reason your heart is beating a little faster right now. In a world full of noise and distraction, this is a divine interruption, a gentle but urgent call that breaks through the confusion and chaos swirling around you. You have been searching for answers, for a sign that you are not invisible, not forgotten, not left to fend for yourself in the shadows. This is that sign. This is the moment when heaven leans in close and whispers, "You are seen. You are known. You are protected." You may feel the weight of uncertainty pressing in, the ache of not knowing who to trust or where to turn. Perhaps you have sensed something shifting in the atmosphere around you, an unease, a question that will not let you rest. You have wondered if you are imagining things, if the tension you feel is just your own anxiety, or if there is truly something hidden beneath the surface. Let me assure you, your discernment is not a mistake. The confusion you have felt is not a sign of weakness, but a signal that clarity is on its way. You are being singled out for a reason, and the timing of this message is not random. It is sacred. It is precise. There are moments in life when the ordinary is pierced by the extraordinary, when the veil between the seen and unseen grows thin. This is one of those moments. You are being called out of the fog of uncertainty and into the light of understanding. The urgency you feel is not meant to frighten you, but to awaken you. There is something you must know before it's too late, something that will shift the balance from confusion to clarity, from fear to peace. You are not being left in the dark. You are being invited into the light. You may have noticed patterns repeating, whispers behind closed doors, or a sense that something is being kept from you. You may have felt alone in your suspicions, doubting your own intuition. But you are not alone. Even now, a shield of protection is being raised around you, and the truth is preparing to reveal itself. The forces that seek to cloud your vision cannot stand against the light that is coming for you. This is not a warning meant to stir panic, but a promise that you are not defenseless. You are not at the mercy of confusion. You are being equipped with clarity. There is a sacred exclusivity to this moment. Out of all the voices clamoring for your attention, this one is different. This is the voice that calls you by name, that knows the details of your struggle, that sees the hidden battles you have fought in silence. You are not just another face in the crowd. You are chosen for this message, and the timing is not accidental. The urgency is real, but it is wrapped in peace, not fear. You are being prepared for what is coming, and you will not be caught off guard. Let your heart settle as you listen. Let the confusion begin to lift, like mist dissolving in the morning sun. There is more to be revealed, more to be understood, and you are exactly where you need to be to receive it. This is your divine interruption. This is your moment of clarity. Stay with me, for what you are about to hear will change everything you thought you knew. The next words are for you, and you alone. You may be wondering, why now? Why is this message reaching me at this exact moment? My child, there are no accidents in the realm of the Spirit. The timing of this message is not a coincidence, but a sign of divine alignment. You have not missed your moment, nor have you arrived too late. Even as hidden actions have been set in motion behind closed doors, a greater hand has been guiding you toward this very point in time. You are being shielded, even when you cannot see the shield. You are being watched over, even when you feel alone. There is a difference between delay and divine alignment. Sometimes, what feels like waiting is actually protection. Sometimes, what feels like silence is the gathering of wisdom and strength for the right moment. You may have felt the sting of delay, the ache of prayers that seemed to go unanswered, the frustration of doors that would not open. But now, as the shadows lengthen and the truth begins to press against the surface, you are being called into alignment. The timing is not just good, it is perfect. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are exactly where you need to be. Fear will try to convince you that you are exposed, that you are vulnerable, that you are at the mercy of forces beyond your control. But the truth is, you are surrounded by a shield that cannot be broken. Archangel Michael stands watch, sword drawn, not to frighten you, but to assure you that you are protected. The timing of this message is a sign that heaven is not late. The shield of timing is being raised around you, deflecting what was meant to harm you, redirecting what was meant to confuse you. You are not alone in this battle. You are not facing the unknown without help. Let the calm urgency of this moment settle over you. There is no need to rush, no need to panic. The shield of timing is not a barrier to your blessing, but a safeguard for your peace. What has been hidden will be revealed in the right season. What has been delayed will arrive in fullness, not halfway, fully. You are being kept safe, even as the world around you shifts and changes. The fear of being too late is a lie. The truth is, you are right on time. So breathe deeply, and let the assurance of divine timing fill your heart. You are not late. You are not lost. You are aligned with a purpose greater than you can see. The shield of timing is your promise that you will not be overtaken by what is hidden, nor will you be left unprotected. Stay present, stay open, and know that you are exactly where you are meant to be. The next revelation is coming, and you are ready to receive it. There is a pain that cuts deeper than most, a pain that does not come from strangers, but from those you once called family. My child, I see the ache you carry, the silent wound that throbs beneath the surface of your daily life. It is not just about the money, though the loss is real and the injustice stings. It is about trust broken, about the sacred bonds of belonging being stretched and torn by hidden hands. You have tried to make sense of it, to find a reason or an explanation, but the answers have not come. Instead, you have been left with questions that echo in the quiet hours. How could they do this? Why me? What did I do to deserve this? You are not alone in this ache. Though you may feel isolated, as if no one else could possibly understand the depth of your hurt, you are not abandoned. The pain of betrayal is a wound that many have carried, but few have spoken aloud. It is a wound that can make you question your own worth, your own judgment, your own place in the world. You may have replayed conversations in your mind, searching for the moment when things shifted, for the sign you missed, for the word you should have said. You may have wondered if you are to blame, if you are somehow responsible for the choices others have made. Let me speak this truth over you: the betrayal was not your fault. The wound is not a reflection of your value, but of the brokenness in others. There is a loneliness that comes with this kind of pain, a sense of being on the outside, looking in. You may have watched as others gathered, as laughter and warmth filled rooms you no longer felt welcome in. You may have felt the chill of silence, the weight of secrets kept and stories twisted. The ache of betrayal is not just about what was taken, but about what was lost, the sense of safety, the comfort of belonging, the hope that family would always be a place of refuge. In the quiet, you have wondered if anyone sees you, if anyone hears the silent cry of your heart. Hear me now, you are seen. You are heard. Your pain is not invisible to heaven. It is easy to retreat into silence, to hide your hurt behind a mask of strength or indifference. But silence is not your only option. You do not have to carry this wound alone. There is a place for your story, a space where your voice matters and your experience is honored. The ache of betrayal is real, but it does not have to define you. You are more than what was done to you. You are more than the sum of your losses. Even now, as you listen, a gentle invitation is being extended to you. Step out of isolation and into belonging. Let your pain be named, let your story be told, let your heart be known. There is power in being heard. There is healing in being seen. The ache of betrayal may have left you feeling small, but you are not forgotten. You are not invisible. The injustice you have suffered is not hidden from the eyes of heaven. Every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of confusion and anger has been witnessed. You are not alone in your struggle. You are not the only one who has walked this path. Others have felt the sting of betrayal, and yet, they have found a way through. You, too, will find your way. Let this be the moment when silence is broken, when the ache is named, when the wound is acknowledged. You do not have to pretend that everything is fine. You do not have to minimize your pain or justify your feelings. Your hurt is valid. Your anger is understood. Your confusion is met with compassion, not judgment. You belong, even in your brokenness. You are part of a story that is still being written, a story where pain is not the end, but the beginning of healing. As you sit with these words, let the weight of isolation begin to lift. Let the truth settle in your spirit. You are not alone, and you are not unheard. The ache of betrayal is real, but so is the promise of belonging. You are seen, you are valued, and you are being drawn into a place where your voice matters. The silence is ending. The healing is beginning. Stay with me, for there is more to be revealed, and you are not walking this path alone. Listen closely, my child, for what I am about to reveal is not for every ear. This is a sacred promise, spoken over you in a time when you have felt most vulnerable, most at risk of losing what is rightfully yours. You have watched as shadows moved in silence, as trust was broken and what belonged to you seemed to slip through your fingers. You have felt the sting of loss, the ache of injustice, and the fear that what has been taken will never be returned. But hear this now, you are not unprotected. You are not abandoned to the schemes of others. Archangel Michael himself stands watch over you, sword drawn, shield raised, and his promise is sure. There is nothing hidden from the eyes of the divine. The actions of those who have moved against you, yes, even the two family members whose hands have reached for what is not theirs, are not concealed in darkness. Every secret conversation, every hidden document, Every whispered plan has been seen and recorded. You may have felt powerless, as if you were fighting a battle you could not win, but you are not fighting alone. The forces of heaven are arrayed on your behalf, and the promise over your life is one of exposure and restoration. Loss is not the final word. What has been taken in secret will be brought into the light. What was meant to diminish you will become the very ground of your restoration. The divine does not turn a blind eye to injustice, nor does heaven ignore the cries of the wounded. Archangel Michael's presence is not a distant comfort, but an active force, cutting through deception, scattering confusion, and making a way where there seemed to be none. You are under angelic protection, and that protection is not passive. It is fierce, it is vigilant, and it is working even now to bring about what is right. You may have wondered if anyone truly sees what you are going through. You may have questioned whether your prayers have reached beyond the ceiling, whether your tears have been noticed. Let me assure you, nothing escapes the gaze of the divine. The two family members who have acted in secret are not hidden from heaven. Their motives, their actions, their plans, none of it is beyond the reach of justice. The promise is this: what has been hidden will be revealed, and what has been lost will be restored. Not slowly, suddenly. Not halfway, fully. This is not a promise of vengeance, but of justice. The restoration that is coming is not just about the return of what was taken, but about the healing of your heart, the mending of trust, and the renewal of hope. You will not be left empty-handed. You will not be left in the dark. The light of truth is breaking through, and with it comes a new season of clarity and peace. The hands that tried to take from you will be stilled, and the resources that were meant for you will find their way back into your life. The divine ledger is being balanced, and you will see the evidence with your own eyes. Let the contrast settle in your spirit. Loss is giving way to restoration, and what was hidden is being revealed. The ache of what was taken is real, but it is not the end of your story. The promise of Archangel Michael is that you are not defenseless, not forgotten, not left to fend for yourself. You are surrounded by a shield that cannot be broken, and the sword of truth is cutting through every lie, every scheme, every shadow. The restoration will not only return what was lost, but will also bring a deeper sense of peace, a stronger sense of belonging, and a renewed confidence in your own discernment. You may not see all the evidence yet, but the process has already begun. The divine is moving on your behalf, orchestrating conversations, shifting circumstances, and opening doors that no one can shut. The exposure of what has been hidden will come gently, but surely. You will not be shamed or embarrassed. Instead, you will be vindicated. The truth will speak for itself, and those who doubted you will see the hand of protection that has always been over your life. Hold on to this promise. You are under angelic protection, and you are not alone in this battle. The restoration that is coming will be more than you imagined, and the peace that follows will settle every anxious thought. Let your heart rest in the assurance that the divine is not finished with your story. What was lost is being restored. What was hidden is being revealed. The promise stands, and it is for you. Stay open, stay expectant, for the next movement of truth is already on its way. There is a battle unfolding around you, one that is not always visible to the eye but is deeply felt in the heart. My child, you have sensed it, the tension between what is real and what is false, between those who come with open hands and those who hide their motives behind smiles. In times of uncertainty, it can be difficult to tell the difference between counterfeit intentions and authentic love. The lines blur, and you are left questioning who is truly for you and who is only for themselves. This is not your imagination. This is the battle for your provision, and it is as old as time itself. Counterfeit intentions often wear the mask of concern. They speak in half-truths, offer help with strings attached, and use fear as a tool to control and manipulate. You may have noticed how certain words are chosen carefully, how conversations twist and turn until you are left doubting your own instincts. Manipulation thrives in confusion, feeding on your desire for peace and belonging. It whispers that you must accept less, that you must stay silent, that you must not question what does not feel right. But deep within, your spirit knows the difference. Authentic love does not demand your silence or your submission. It does not use fear to keep you in line. Authentic love brings freedom, not bondage, peace, not anxiety. Archangel Michael's presence in your life is not just a comfort, it is a source of discernment. Where manipulation seeks to cloud your vision, Michael's light brings clarity. Where fear tries to paralyze you, his presence brings courage. You are not left to navigate this battle alone. The sword of truth is being wielded on your behalf, cutting through the webs of deceit and exposing what is counterfeit. You may feel the pressure to ignore your intuition, to go along for the sake of keeping peace, but true peace is never built on a foundation of lies. The peace that comes from heaven is steady, unwavering, and rooted in truth. There is a stark contrast between the energy of manipulation and the atmosphere of authentic love. Manipulation leaves you feeling small, uncertain, and indebted. It drains your spirit and clouds your mind. Authentic love, on the other hand, lifts you up. It gives without expecting repayment. It speaks truth, even when it is difficult, and it stands with you in both your strength and your weakness. You have the right to discern the difference. You have the right to set boundaries, to ask questions, to seek clarity. You are not obligated to accept what does not align with your spirit. Fear is the weapon of the counterfeit. It tells you that if you speak up, you will lose everything. It warns that if you set boundaries, you will be abandoned. But these are lies meant to keep you trapped. The peace that Archangel Michael brings is not the absence of conflict, but the presence of truth. It is the assurance that you are protected, that you are not alone, and that you have the strength to stand in the light. You do not have to choose between peace and truth. In the presence of the divine, they are one and the same. Let your heart be still and listen to the quiet voice within. You are being given the gift of discernment, the ability to see beyond appearances and recognize what is real. The battle for your provision is not just about money or resources, it is about your sense of worth, your right to be treated with respect, your place in the family of love. You are not at the mercy of manipulation. You are not destined to live in fear. The shield of Archangel Michael surrounds you, and his sword clears the path for authentic love to enter and remain. As you move forward, trust the signals your spirit sends. If something feels off, pause and seek clarity. If words do not match actions, let that be your guide. You are not being asked to fight this battle alone. The presence of the divine is your ally, your protector, your source of peace. The counterfeit will be exposed, and the authentic will remain. Let the fear fall away, and let peace take its place. You are safe to choose truth. You are safe to choose love. The battle is not yours alone, and the victory is already being written on your behalf. Pause and listen, my child, for the signs you have been seeking are not hidden from you. In a world where anxiety often masquerades as urgency, it is easy to miss the gentle confirmations that heaven sends. But you are not meant to walk in confusion. You are meant to walk in assurance, guided by signals that bring peace, not panic. Let me reveal 3 clear signs that this message is for you, and 2 gentle red flags to help you discern what is not from the divine. The first sign is a sudden, unshakable awareness that something is shifting in your environment. You may have felt it as a quiet nudge, a sense that the atmosphere around you has changed, even if you cannot explain why. This is not the anxiety that comes from fear, but a holy alertness, a knowing that you are being prepared for something important. If you have found yourself waking up with a sense of anticipation, or if your spirit has felt restless in recent days, this is a sign that you are being called to attention. The divine is drawing you closer, inviting you to pay attention to what is unfolding. The second sign is the appearance of repeated patterns or symbols that seem to follow you wherever you go. Perhaps you have noticed the same numbers, words, or even names appearing in unexpected places. Maybe a certain phrase keeps coming up in conversation, or you keep encountering references to protection, justice, or restoration. These are not coincidences. They are gentle confirmations that you are on the right path, that the message you are receiving is meant for you. When the same sign appears more than once, take it as a loving reminder that you are not alone, and that heaven is speaking directly to your situation. The third sign is a deep sense of peace that settles over you, even in the midst of uncertainty. This peace is not the absence of questions, but the presence of assurance. It is the quiet confidence that, despite what others may say or do, you are being watched over and guided. If you have found yourself able to rest, even when circumstances are unclear, or if you have felt a sudden calm in the middle of chaos, this is a sign that divine protection is at work. True guidance does not stir up panic or confusion. It brings a steadying peace that anchors your soul. Now, let me gently warn you of 2 red flags that signal false urgency or guidance not rooted in truth. The first red flag is a sense of pressure to act immediately, without time for reflection or prayer. If you feel rushed, manipulated, or forced into decisions that do not sit right with your spirit, pause. The divine does not operate in panic. Divine timing allows space for discernment, for questions, for confirmation. Anxiety is not your guide, peace is. The second red flag is the presence of fear-based messages that threaten loss or punishment if you do not comply. If someone or something tries to control you through fear, shame, or guilt, recognize that this is not the voice of heaven. The guidance that comes from above always leads you toward freedom, not bondage, toward assurance, not anxiety. Let these signs and red flags be your compass. You are not meant to be tossed about by every wind of emotion or opinion. You are being given the tools to discern what is real, what is for you, and what is not. Trust the peace that settles in your heart. Trust the patterns that repeat with gentle persistence. Trust the timing that allows you to breathe, to reflect, to move forward with confidence. You are not alone in this journey. The signs are clear, the guidance is gentle, and the assurance is yours to claim. Stay open, for more will be revealed in the days to come. She sat at the kitchen table, the same table where laughter once echoed and secrets were shared over steaming cups of tea. But tonight, the air was heavy, and her hands trembled as she sifted through a stack of papers she was never meant to see. The numbers didn't add up. Receipts were missing, signatures looked strange, and a quiet dread began to settle in her chest. For weeks, she had sensed something was off, a coldness in conversations, averted eyes, a door that closed just as she entered the room. She wanted to believe it was nothing, just her imagination, but the evidence was right there, hidden in plain sight. As the truth dawned, despair threatened to swallow her. How could those she trusted most, her own family, move in shadows, taking what was not theirs? The pain was sharp, a betrayal that felt both personal and profound. She wanted to confront them, to demand answers, but fear held her back. What if she was wrong? What if speaking up only made things worse? The weight of secrecy pressed down, and for a moment, she felt utterly alone. But in the quiet, a gentle presence filled the room. It was not loud or dramatic, but a steady warmth that wrapped around her like a shield. She closed her eyes and breathed, feeling a peace that made no sense in the midst of chaos. A thought rose in her heart, clear and calm: you are not alone. You are protected. The truth will not stay hidden. It was as if an unseen hand guided her, giving her the courage to look deeper, to trust her instincts, to gather what she needed without fear. The next day, she found the missing ledger tucked away in a drawer she had checked before. This time, it was there, open, undeniable, the final piece of the puzzle. With this revelation, the secrecy lost its power. She was no longer trapped in the dark. Hope began to rise, fragile but real. She reached out for help, and the right people came alongside her, offering wisdom and support. The truth, once hidden, brought not only justice but a new sense of safety. What was meant for harm became the doorway to healing, and she knew, deep in her spirit, that she was never truly alone. Now that the truth has begun to surface, you may feel a mixture of relief and uncertainty. What comes next? How do you move from the chaos of betrayal into the order of protection and provision? My child, you are not called to stand still in confusion. You are being invited into a season of empowered action, a time to align your heart, your mind, and your daily choices with the shield of divine protection that surrounds you. This is not a call to rush or to react in fear, but to move forward with wisdom, clarity, and peace. The first step is to set boundaries. Boundaries are not walls that keep love out, they are gates that protect what is sacred within you. Take time to reflect on where your energy has been drained, where your trust has been tested, and where your voice has been silenced. It is not selfish to say no to what harms you. It is not unkind to protect your peace. Write down the boundaries you need, whether it is limiting certain conversations, refusing to participate in secrecy, or choosing not to engage in arguments that go nowhere. Boundaries are a declaration that you value yourself and the life you are building. They are the first line of defense against further harm. Next, turn to journaling as a tool for clarity and healing. When emotions swirl and thoughts become tangled, the simple act of writing can bring order to the chaos. Set aside a few moments each day to pour out your heart on paper. Write about what you have discovered, what you are feeling, and what you hope for in the days ahead. Let your journal be a safe space where nothing is too small or too heavy to name. As you write, you may notice patterns, insights, or even gentle nudges from the divine. Journaling is not just a record of your pain, it is a map of your healing. Prayer is your posture of alignment. You do not have to come with perfect words or polished faith. Simply come as you are, honest and open. Find a quiet place, even if only for a few minutes, and let your spirit settle. Breathe deeply, and invite the presence of protection to surround you. You may wish to pray aloud, whispering your fears and hopes, or you may simply sit in silence, trusting that you are heard. Ask for wisdom to see what is hidden, for courage to act when needed, and for peace to fill the spaces where anxiety once lived. Prayer is not a ritual of desperation, but a conversation of trust. It is where chaos gives way to order, and where your heart aligns with the guidance that is always available to you. Seeking wise counsel is another step toward empowered action. You are not meant to walk this path alone. Reach out to those who have walked through similar valleys, trusted friends, mentors, or spiritual leaders who can offer perspective and support. Sometimes, the right word at the right time can shift everything. Do not be afraid to ask for help, to share your story, or to receive guidance from those who care for your well-being. Wisdom is found in community, and you are worthy of support. As you take these steps, remember that alignment is not about perfection. It is about intention. Each small act of courage, each boundary set, each prayer whispered, and each word written is a movement toward order and protection. You are not powerless in the face of chaos. You are not destined to remain a victim of circumstance. The shield of Archangel Michael is not just a symbol, it is a living reality, activated by your willingness to participate in your own healing. Let the contrast settle in your spirit. Passivity leaves you vulnerable, but empowered action brings you into alignment with provision and peace. You are not called to shrink back or to hide. You are called to stand, to speak, to choose what is right for you. The days ahead may still hold challenges, but you are equipped with tools that bring order to confusion and light to darkness. Take a moment now to breathe deeply. Imagine the shield of protection surrounding you, the light of wisdom guiding your steps, and the gentle hand of the divine leading you forward. You are not alone, and you are not without resources. The next chapter is being written, and you have a vital role to play. Stay open, stay grounded, and trust that every step you take in alignment brings you closer to the restoration and peace that are promised to you. She had spent months feeling like a shadow in her own life, watching as trust unraveled and what she cherished slipped away. The sense of loss was heavy, and for a time, she believed she was powerless to change anything. But something within her refused to accept defeat. She began to listen to the quiet voice inside, the one that urged her to set boundaries and speak her truth, even when her hands trembled and her heart raced. It was not easy. There were moments when she doubted herself, when the old patterns of victimhood tried to pull her back into silence. But each time she chose discernment over fear, she felt a little stronger. One day, a conversation that once would have ended in confusion took a different turn. She calmly named what she had discovered, refusing to be drawn into arguments or blame. She spoke with clarity, not accusation, and let her boundaries stand firm. To her surprise, the atmosphere shifted. The power that secrecy once held began to dissolve, and the truth could no longer be denied. Those who had taken from her were faced with the reality of their actions, and the web of manipulation unraveled. In the days that followed, what was lost began to return, not just in material ways, but in the restoration of her own confidence and peace. Relationships that had been strained were redefined, some with new honesty, others with necessary distance. She realized that recovery was not just about getting back what was taken, but about reclaiming her own voice and sense of worth. The victory was not loud or dramatic, but steady and sure. She was no longer a victim of circumstance, she was a participant in her own restoration. Hope, once faint, grew stronger with each step she took. The turnaround did not erase the past, but it transformed her future. She learned that discernment and boundaries were not weapons, but tools of healing. In choosing to stand in truth, she discovered a new kind of freedom, a freedom that could not be taken from her. And as she looked back, she saw that every moment of loss had prepared her for this breakthrough, and every act of courage had led her home. Take a moment now, my child, to let everything else fall away. You have carried so much, questions, worries, the weight of what has been lost and the uncertainty of what is to come. But right now, you are invited into a space of stillness, a sacred pause where peace can find you. Let your shoulders relax. Let your breath slow. With every inhale, imagine drawing in light and strength. With every exhale, release the tension and fear that have tried to settle in your spirit. This is your moment to step out of worry and into peace, to move from silence into the authority of your own voice. Breathe in deeply, filling your lungs with calm. Hold that breath for a gentle count, and then let it go, feeling the heaviness leave your body. Again, breathe in, this time, picture a shield of protection forming around you, strong and radiant. As you exhale, let go of every anxious thought, every whisper of doubt. You are not alone in this stillness. The presence of the divine surrounds you, and the peace you seek is already here, waiting for you to claim it. Now, as you rest in this quiet, let us speak words of life and truth together. Declarations are not empty phrases, they are seeds planted in the soil of your spirit, growing into strength and assurance. Repeat these words after me, letting each one settle deep within you. I am protected by a shield that cannot be broken. I receive clarity in every situation. Confusion has no hold on me. Provision flows to me in expected and unexpected ways. I am not ruled by worry. I am anchored in peace. My voice carries authority, and my boundaries are honored. Let these declarations rise from your heart, not just as words, but as a new reality. Each time you speak them, you are choosing peace over worry, authority over silence. You are reminding your spirit that you are not at the mercy of circumstance, but aligned with a higher protection and purpose. If your mind tries to wander back to old fears, gently return to your breath, to the steady rhythm of inhale and exhale, to the truth that you are safe and seen. This practice is not just for today. Whenever anxiety tries to return, whenever you feel the old weight pressing in, come back to this stillness. Breathe deeply. Speak your declarations aloud. Let your words shape your reality, turning worry into peace and silence into strength. You are not powerless. You are not alone. The authority you carry is real, and the peace you claim is yours to keep. As you open your eyes and return to the world around you, carry this stillness with you. Let your breath remind you of your protection. Let your declarations echo in your heart. You have moved from worry to peace, from silence to spoken authority. The next steps will unfold, and you are ready to meet them with clarity and strength. Now, my child, you stand at a threshold. This is not a moment to simply watch and walk away. You have been called into a sacred conversation, and your response matters. The difference between passive watching and active engagement is the difference between letting life happen to you and stepping forward to claim what is yours. You are not a bystander in your own story. You are a participant, a co-creator, and your voice carries power. If these words have stirred something within you, if you feel the truth of protection, clarity, and restoration rising in your spirit, let it be known. In the space below, write the phrase, "I claim my protection." Let this be your declaration, your signal to heaven and earth that you are stepping into alignment with what has been promised. Your words are not small. They are seeds of faith, and each one is seen. You are also invited to share your story. If you have walked through betrayal, if you have sensed the presence of protection, or if you are still waiting for restoration, your experience matters. There is healing in being heard, and your testimony may be the very encouragement someone else needs. This is a community of faith and courage, and your voice belongs here. If you wish to continue this journey, subscribe and stay connected. There is more to be revealed in the coming days, more guidance, more signs, more moments of breakthrough. You are not alone, and the next part of your story is already unfolding. Let your engagement be an act of faith, a step toward the restoration and peace that are waiting for you. You have moved from silence to declaration, from watching to participating. The invitation is open, and your response is powerful. Claim your protection, share your heart, and prepare for what is yet to come. The story is not finished, and you are right where you need to be. Beloved, as this message draws to a close, let every word spoken settle gently over your spirit. You have walked through shadows and questions, but you have not walked alone. The promise of protection is not just a hope, it is a living reality surrounding you now. What was once hidden is being brought into the light. What was lost is already on its way to restoration. You are not left unfinished, wandering in anxiety. You are being gathered into a place of settled assurance, where peace is not a fleeting visitor but a steady companion. May the shield of Archangel Michael remain over you, guarding your heart, your mind, and all that is entrusted to you. May every anxious thought be replaced with the certainty that you are seen, known, and fiercely protected. Where there was confusion, let clarity reign. Where there was fear, let courage rise. Where there was loss, let the seeds of recovery and abundance take root and flourish. You are not defined by what has been taken or by the wounds of betrayal. You are defined by the love that holds you, the truth that guides you, and the restoration that is already unfolding. Let your heart rest in this assurance: the story is not unfinished. The blessing is already at work, weaving together every broken thread into something whole and beautiful. Carry this peace with you into the days ahead. Let expectancy fill your spirit, knowing that more is being prepared for you than you can yet see. You are not alone, and you are not without hope. The blessing spoken over you is complete, and you are free to walk forward in confidence and calm. Remain open, for the next chapter is coming, and it will be filled with light.